Good gracious. Good morning, everyone. Or is it good afternoon? I don't even know, Lord. It's summer. Hey, infidel lady, wild one, science girl, how are you? Trisha, Kim, Sandy, Stephanie Lee. Good morning. Hey, dumpster clips. I hope you guys can hear me. I'm having some serious internet issues thanks to my son. So it's crazy. Like our spectrum just completely turned off. How that happens, I have no idea. The bill was completely paid, so it's not like I'm begging for money or anything. Um, it just will not turn on. Like, I think we're going to have someone come out and work on it again. So I don't know if, if I'm going to go in or out, if I sound clear. Who knows? We're just going to roll with it. Hey, Uber Goober. Joanne, born to sparkle. I love you. Rachella. And of course, my dogs. Uh-oh, hold on real quick. Doodle Brown. Hey, Sin. Everybody say a prayer for Sin. She's not been feeling very well. We love you, Sin. So, okay, I as my name, I put that I'm not a victim. Brian said last night that I would end up going live early this morning, crying, playing the victim. No, Brian, that's what you did last night. I didn't even know until today that you had gone live. Um, he went live last night and said that he was going to the mediation center and he was taking his screenshots showing them what I said. Brian, I got a question for you, buddy. Did you tell them how much you provoked me? Did you tell them what you was saying to me about my mother, my deceased mother? And you kept it going for a long time, didn't you, buddy? Did you tell them how you provoke me by making fun of my relapse and my addiction to Xanax and how you've made video after video after video? Did you tell them that? Buddy, I need to tell you this. I am not afraid of anything downtown. Trust and believe that they know me by name down there, as we're all aware. Um, that doesn't scare me, not a bit. Um, Trust and believe also that I come with facts too. Uh, I log track and document all the shit you say about me. Trust and believe that. Um, if you want someone to leave you alone, Brian, maybe the best thing you should do is not talk about their deceased family, not talk about something that could potentially kill them, especially since you have family too that has died of the same disease. And while we're on the topic of disease, I really wanted to get Brandon involved in this, but I don't think that's a good idea. Since you literally said last night on your live that you was going to put it in his name this time, do you think he's going to respond to you, dude? You're the one last night that literally said to him, you quote, you need to put your hoe in check, unquote. As you sat there up on a panel and told your wife to STFU. And then said how great y'all's marriage is. Do you really think people believe that? I mean, I'm not even going to lie. My marriage ain't perfect. It's rocky at times, but I know one thing. Brandon would never tell me to shut the fuck up. And I would never tell him to do that. And our arguments have been pretty gnarly, but we're adult enough to where it doesn't have to get so trashy and violent. You know all about violent, though, from back in the day, don't you? Oh, yeah, that was the time that you claimed to be a drug counselor. And then, last night you drop the CDCA on the Ohio credentials. Back then, they didn't have credentials like that, Brian. I want everyone to know how much of a liar you are. You are a condescending liar. You always have been. Sad. That's really sad. Your life is really miserable, and I actually feel bad for your children when they have to listen to you and your wife scream like that. And I don't care what anybody says about me bringing up children. When it comes to screaming at your wife like that, that doesn't set good examples for them. We're supposed to guide our children for a better future. We want our children to be all the things we wasn't. You can't even do that, can you? I told you last night, if you don't come for mine, I will not come for yours. And I am not trying to be disrespectful in saying that, but you have pushed and pushed and pushed and provoked me to the point to where, yeah, I am about to snap. You know how I feel about people's mothers getting attacked, deceased mothers. And then you do it to me. And you did that because you thought in your mind that I was going to freak out and flip out, right? It didn't happen that way, did it, buddy? I came in, I caught you off guard up on Rev's panel. You was stuttering left and right. You didn't know what to say. Huh? Yeah, that's how that happened. I'm going to drop a link. I know someone wanted to come up. Let's see. Hopefully it'll work, for one. There has never been a man in my real life that has told my husband to get his hoe in check, except for you. You're the only person that's ever done that. You're trashy, dude. You're always going to be trashy. It doesn't matter what kind of vehicle you buy. That's not going to look. When you are you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Material things does not make you classy. Calling other women hoes is not classy. Oh, snap. Oh, shit. Oh.
Your name.
Grease lightning.
Oh, goodness. So let's explain the greased lightning because some people are a little lost. When Brian wrote, you can hear me okay, right?
Yes. Can you hear me? Like, am I sounding okay? Like,
yeah. Yep.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so when Brian rode his Schwinn bicycle past my house, 4 years ago? 2017. In August in 96-degree weather, on his bike, he has a sticker. And it says greased lightning, and it's to cover up that it's a Schwinn because he always said it's the mongoose. Because,
That's hysterical.
bike lives matter.
Right. Right?
Yeah, you get into an argument with someone on Facebook, and the normal person's first thought, right, is to just hop on your Schwinn and go right by their home.
Oh my gosh.
Last night was absolutely disgusting. I was laying there, I was listening to something, and Discord started popping off. Get Sarah, Dad, someone get her. And I was like, oh crap,
speaking
where's
of
she
that,
at?
Trisha, I need to thank Steph for that. She messaged. She was like,
yeah,
get down.
yes,
I love you, Steph.
So
Is she
I
really?
said, where's all this even going on? And they said, Revs. And I was like, put the little running emoji. So I ran over there, but you were already down. So I rewound, listened. Long story short, what? He, every time I think Brian can't get any lower, he goes lower. What he said
Man,
about your mom, Sarah, I'm so sorry.
I know, and that's okay. I
It's
even
not,
told him
though.
last night. I said, yeah, it's not, but I even told him last night, look, she's in a better place, man. This world is full of crazy people like you,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And
Um,
it's not okay. They want to sit there and talk about how bad we are and blah, blah, blah. Well, you got morons over there making fun of someone for their addiction or making fun of their dead mothers. And this isn't the first time they have done that over there, you know?
yeah, yeah, I know. Um, I do want to say one thing. He had wrote, I seen a screenshot that said, I do my
Hey,
docs.
generator.
There's something about him doxing, and then I'll just pull a TNT. Brian, that was a one-time thing for me, you fucking fat bastard. You have doxed just about everybody in this fucking community.
Mm-hmm.
Not me, buddy. Not me. You, Brian. You have.
Yeah.
Greased lightning.
Yeah. And this goes back years. It's not like he's only
It
been doing
does.
this for a
Mm-hmm.
short time. No, he gets off on this kind of stuff. He got
He
an
really
autistic
does.
man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He called
And
the
his,
cops on an autistic guy that called him poopy pants. Come
well, not
on.
only that, okay, I'm sorry, but his single wide trailer is small. And I'm not cracking on his residence, right? I'm not trying to. I'm just saying.
No, but we know where it's at,
We know
you
where
know?
it's at. We know it's just a tiny single wide trailer, right? The
Mm-hmm.
walls are paper thin. His poor kids. And then they had Nicole, or not they, but he had Nicole so worked up, and she has seizures. So,
Oh, gosh.
you know, what if she got so worked up that she had a fucking seizure over this shit, over him arguing on the fucking internet still? Like, I
Right.
don't get it. And then for him to scream the way he did at her for being upset, like she's not allowed to be upset because she's being drug into the shit because of him, and tells
Yeah.
her to shut the fuck up. Sarah, in
I know.
22 years, my husband, and y'all know I have a big mouth, right?
Mm-hmm.
He has never once told me, and he probably has wanted to several times, but he's never said, Trisha, shut the fuck up. Never. Girl,
Because real
never.
men don't do that. Real men
Exactly.
don't treat their women like that?
Now, have I been upset and he's come to me like, dude, what is wrong with you? You need to chill out, or something to that effect, but never has he screamed. Well, he never put my head in a fucking toilet either. So there's
Right.
that.
Oh gosh.
Um,
And then he tries
uh,
so hard to say that never happened. It wasn't true. But yeah, Brian, you admitted it, buddy. Just,
Rev, you
take
don't
the
know
L.
Brian like Sarah and I do. So I would suggest, and I'm not mad at you or anything, Rev, whatever, just sit on your hands on this one, because you have no clue who Brian is. Just because you haven't had a bad interaction with him, Rev, does not make him a good person. So,
Yeah, when you drag someone's deceased mother, that's not okay. Or to even bring it up, that's not okay.
and
You're gonna
it's, go ahead. I'm
Somebody's
sorry.
gonna feel some kind of way about it. And I got mad last night and I went ham. I'm not gonna try to deny it or to simplify it.
Mm-hmm.
I
Well, I did the
said
same
what
thing,
I said
Sarah.
because of what he said.
Right. And
Yeah,
I did, I
absolutely.
reacted off of some fucking badass information, right? Went
Mm-hmm.
totally fucking off the walls, let people bring me out of my character, which it's all my
Yeah.
fault, not blaming anybody, right? It's completely all my fault. But that is what we've come, this like that is what we've come to on here. This is it now. And I don't like that. I don't like what I said about Tiffany or her kid as much as I don't like Tiffany, but I have kids. So, point being is
Yeah.
we all mess up on here, but geez, Brian is just
He's
never
back to his
ending.
old habits. And in my opinion, he's basically like a false prophet. You know, he'll one minute he will preach about Christianity and how much of a Christian he is. And then the
Well,
next, he's
mm-hmm.
calling other women hoes to their
Well,
husbands.
right. And just last night, he acted like he got booted off of that panel. I don't
No,
believe he
he
did.
didn't.
And he went live and he started saying he needed to go talk, or that he said that one of the younger ministers told him that they found his YouTube channel and told him that he shouldn't be doing that, and it wasn't godly and yada yada yada. And he
Mm-hmm.
just thinks he can turn that off and on, the Christianity.
Yeah, and you can't do that.
No.
Okay, if you're going to be a real Christian, a God-fearing
Mm-hmm.
man, you have to follow the good book. And,
Well,
you know, making fun of someone's parents' suicide is not very Christian.
Well, Sarah, let me ask you this because I know you know more about, that Wiccan and all that
Yeah,
and
yeah.
paganism probably than I do. So, how do you go from being a pagan that's eating burnt pieces of paper that you've written revenge on to being a Christian man?
Right.
Like, how
And it
does
was
that
like
happen
right overnight. And
overnight?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I
I
don't
don't.
see it as being real. I think he did it
Mhm.
because he knows the damage he did back then. And he's like, well, let me think of how I can get out of this. Oh, I'll do what everybody else does and use Christianity, which is complete bunk. And
Sally's backstage, by the way.
oh,
Um,
I
yeah,
am so sorry.
he uses it as a crutch when he
Sally,
pulls it out when he needs to. You know what I mean? When he needs to.
yes.
Mm.
Sally, I am so sorry. I was on a tangent. I am so sorry.
My darling, I was quite happy. I could hear you and Trish said that was fine. Hello, you beautiful ladies, and
Hi,
hi, chat.
Sally.
Oh,
And first
Sally,
off,
I
Trish,
love you so much.
that Wiccan thing,
Mm-hmm.
I love you girls so much. I really do. That Wiccan thing, and I'm kind of pretty knowledgeable on that.
Mm-hmm.
That was a load of bullshit.
Oh,
See,
There
yeah.
is no witch that's going to sit and eat paper,
I was
okay?
born and raised Catholic. I have, we don't fool around with any of that. So I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah, I
know.
was
I
raised
don't
No,
know if
Catholic
it's
too.
normal for them to eat burnt paper that they've written the
no,
words
it's
revenge
not.
in all caps on, but I
No,
don't know.
no, it isn't.
I
Look,
don't know if
girls,
he
the
was
only
trying to
reason
do
I
a
wanted to come
hex,
up,
but that's not a hex.
you,
What he did was,
Okay.
he
no,
probably looked it
that
up
was
online.
nothing.
Yeah.
That was a load of bullshit. Okay,
Right.
there's a hell of a lot more involved in a hex, and
Mm-hmm.
it certainly wasn't any paper eating bullshit. Look, I just want to say something. Okay, as observation of watching Brian. Brian is a mind game player, and he's playing mind games on
Yeah.
Sarah that are as evil as pig shit. Because what he does, okay, and I listened to just a little bit of his one live. I don't listen to Brian anymore because I can't stand it. Just makes me angry. And he was aiming everything at Sarah, but then he brings up Proverbs. This proverb, okay, where yelping dog, whatever, something or other. In other words, if you cast a stone and it hits a dog and the dog cries, it means the dog is guilty. So, in plain, simple terms, you can take a handful of spaghetti, throw it at a wall, and the spaghetti that sticks means the spaghetti's cooked. So, this is what Brian does. He makes a stupid, pathetic, childish video aimed at
Mm-hmm.
Sarah, but without saying Sarah's name. Then, when Sarah gets upset about it, he screams, "You see, she's guilty. She's guilty. I told you. I told you." That is how Brian buggers up people.
Yeah.
He
But
hasn't got the courage to
did he not
face
realize
you
the
head
effect that
on.
that video had on his good friend Nenny? Just
No, because he's
saying.
focused on Sarah.
Yeah, I saw that.
Mm,
And
yeah, I
He's
did
focused
too.
on Sarah, okay?
Sally, you
And
are
if
full of
anybody
wisdom and
else,
knowledge. Yeah.
and look, Sarah, let me tell you something now, girl. You can take Brian on, okay, which you've been doing, but you won't win, sweetheart, because he will play mind games with you. And each time you react to a video of his where you know it's aimed at you. I mean, I only know Sarah for a little bit here, okay? But I can tell by what Brian's saying who the bloody video is aimed at.
Exactly.
And every time you react to that, he turns around and he becomes justified. You see, I told you. She's guilty.
Mm-hmm.
This is how, look, I've lived with a mind game player for 45 years. I know every single trick in their fucking book. And the worst, excuse my language, but Brian, I tell you something, you are an item. You are not human. The way that you play mind games on Sarah, and you know how dangerous they are, Brian, because that's how you get off. You get off on the reaction of the person that you are playing mind games to. You have always done it. You were worse on Facebook, and you brought that evilness over here, and now you're doing it on YouTube. And it's always women that you do it to.
Yep. Amen, Sally. Yes.
He cannot handle a man coming at him to save his life.
And you think by saying something to Sarah about her mum, you know, you are evil, Brian. You are the what you call it, of Satan. All you want to do is hurt people and destroy them, including your wife and your children.
Well, let's not forget, Sally, when Brian was younger, he burnt his mother's house down. So,
oh my gosh.
Yep.
You know,
if you had spoken to me the way you spoke to Nicole last night, sweetheart, you'd be pushing up daisies in some storage dam.
He wouldn't have any motherfucking teeth left.
Yeah.
That was me.
Amen.
And I tell you something.
I'd have picked up a frying pan and I'd have smacked that motherfucker right in his mouth. And it'd have been lights fucking out for him for the night.
I tell you what,
laid wherever he fell. He'd have laid wherever he fell all night long.
Yep.
And I'd have went took my ass to bed.
And I would have stepped over it. And you know something? Those little girls hear all that.
Gosh. Yes.
And those little girls' lives are changed for the rest of their lives. Yeah. And they think that's normal.
They do. They absolutely do.
So what's going to happen? They're going to have men that do exactly the same to them, the way Brian treats Nicole.
Yep.
Brian,
and what she allows will continue. So
a coward.
I don't know why she puts up with it. I just don't. I don't get it.
She doesn't deserve it, honestly, and it scares me.
Deserve it.
I do.
Right.
Why?
She has got very little
self-esteem.
Yeah.
Oh,
in fact, I'd say she's got nil. And then also having her, what do you call it that she's got?
CP.
Okay. She's afraid that she might not be able to support those children if she had to leave
husband.
But let me tell you something.
But that trailer's in her name, so she can easily have him removed. They're not legally married.
Yeah, but Trish, she's got no self-esteem. He has beat her down so much.
Well, see, and he goes around telling everybody that I befriended Nicole back in the Facebook days to fuck with her or something. I don't know, but that's not true. I worked for the Department of Developmental Disabilities here in Ohio, and I felt so bad for Nicole. I felt like she just needed a friend. And he acts like we talked every day. I may have talked to the woman twice. And there, and you know, he was right there listening to every word and chiming in. Like, she couldn't even have a phone conversation with me without him right up her ass.
But do you really think she's even got friends?
No, I don't.
She won't have any friends that he doesn't approve of.
Right.
Look, you know, I'm going to say something. Please, nobody that's in rehab or addicted to anything, please don't get offended about it. But those kind of mind games, when you are playing them daily on somebody, you become addicted to, it's almost like an addiction, because you've got no self-esteem left, and you feel that you need that person there, like somebody that was using something, okay, alcohol, whatever it is. So he's a coward. And Brian, I don't care what you say about me, because I don't listen. I don't care, because I know who I am.
So listen to
And
this.
what you
You're a
have to
good
say
woman
about
too,
me
Sally.
makes no difference.
So check
It
this out.
doesn't.
They met online, right? In like a Yahoo chat room or whatever it was. I believe that he preyed upon her from then, because she was a married woman.
Yes, he did.
You know, she was a
Yep.
married
Oh,
woman. I
that's
don't know
right.
the extent of the happily part of that, but fact is she was
Yeah.
states away and had a child
Yep.
and was married. And it
Uh-huh.
just floors me that she would give up. Brian's not allowed around Nicole's oldest child. The
Yep.
her father was having no part of BSJ being around his daughter.
Yep.
Nicole has to go see her elsewhere, alone,
Yep.
or
Yeah,
and with
that's
the
so
other
sad.
girls. That is, I just couldn't have left my daughter for that motherfucker. I couldn't have left
No,
my
I
daughters for
No.
anybody, but him.
No.
No,
Look,
hell no.
I can't. I'm not going to judge Nicole, because I'm not in her
I'm not
shoes.
trying to judge
Okay.
her. I just have so many questions. Like,
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine the place that you are in? Okay, the mindset that you are in, that you can leave your daughter. Okay.
yes, drama. Sorry, Sally.
Right, to be. No, it's quite fine. To leave your daughter with the father, okay, and go and be with another man. Can you imagine the mindset that you're in?
No,
Because look,
no.
Brian plays games.
Could you imagine
He
what that
opens his mouth. He's playing a
child
mind game.
went
How do you
through?
think the little girl feels? The oldest
That's
daughter.
abandonment.
Abandoned.
Yeah,
Exactly.
abandoned.
I hope she doesn't. I hope she doesn't. I hope
I
that she
pray to
can.
God she doesn't. But I know she has a
Yeah.
wonderful new stepmom, or not new, but you know, he's remarried, and I think his new
I hope
wife
that
is
she's
very
good
good to
to
that
him.
little girl. So
Yeah, and I hope that they don't play the mother, the blood mother off. You know what I mean? I hope they don't badmouth the blood
I hope
mother.
they don't. Yeah, I would never want that to happen to anybody.
Yeah.
Your mom's
No,
your
but look,
mom.
all
You
I want
know.
you to realize, Sarah, is that Brian plays mind games, period. Okay?
Drama,
Yeah.
So
she's
you
probably
can take
about
him on,
14,
Sarah.
13, 14 now. Sorry.
You can take him on, but you're never gonna win, darling.
Sarah, let me
You're
ask you
never gonna
this. You
Yeah, because
guys
he's
aren't
never
even
gonna
in the same
stop.
county. So if he
Yep.
goes and files this mediation, let me not dox anyone's counties, but that county he's in is not going to work with your county. They're complete
No,
separate. They
absolutely
don't
not.
fuck. Those two
Yep.
counties don't really click like that.
No, they
The
don't
one
at
county
all.
is super strict, where Sarah's at. The one BSJ's in, it's way more lenient.
So if you filed a mediation, Sarah,
It would be in her
and
county.
exactly, okay, and you produced all the evidence of what he's been doing to you, okay, before the mediation, then the mediator goes in fully armed, knowing what kind of person he is.
Yeah.
Because
You know what?
Brian will play the goody two shoes. Oh, he will play the goody two shoes.
And Sarah, I have a phone number for you. Don't let me forget. I have a very good friend who was the ex-cop, ex-detective, and now is a private detective right down the street from you. Don't let me forget to give you his number. I want you and him to talk about this, because he can point you
Thank
in
you.
every direction that you are going to need. And it just hit me that he would be the perfect person to ask about this.
Thank you.
Because my
I'll
darling,
definitely message you after this.
Okay.
My sweetheart, I'm so worried about you reacting to him. It worries me every time you do it because I know that I know this. I know it with every single fiber in my body. You will never win.
No.
Yeah, and
Look
Never.
at me. I've been
it's like,
fighting with him since February of
Exactly.
2017.
Exactly.
17.
Brian's a piece of shit.
Exactly.
Hey, baby girl.
amen.
Hi, I'm just here to say
He's
that
not
Brian's a
worth
piece
it.
of shit.
Hi, Steph.
Hi.
We love
he
Brian.
Brian's
Happy
not
mama.
worth it.
he left. He started leaving me alone. Honestly.
Because
Good.
he-
Sarah,
I'm
it's
glad.
because I didn't care. I didn't
Well,
play
that's
into
what
his
he said,
games.
Steph. He said Steph can take it. Steph can take it. Well, we all can take it. But guess
I know,
what,
but you
Brian?
have
We're
to
sick
ignore
of
him.
taking
You
No,
it.
can't.
some of us can't, Trish.
Well,
Trish, some of
Well,
us
Sarah
can't.
gets
And
mad,
right.
and
You're
she has the right
absolutely
to
right,
get mad.
Sally.
yes,
But she's got the right to get
you
mad.
see,
She does. But come into the, come to the Discord and rage with us. Let it all out.
yes,
Don't
because Sarah, what he does, anybody that shows weakness around Brian, he will take that weakness and he will
Oh,
play
yeah.
that to the bitter end.
And
Yeah.
that's exactly
Okay,
what
and
he's
that's
done.
what he's doing with you, sweetheart.
Yeah. And
And that's what he's
last
doing with
week,
you. And
you're right.
no, carry on. Sorry.
Absolutely. No, go ahead. You're right.
Now I'm saying that your clapbacks to him are his Viagra. So he's on a permanent hard on.
You're gonna make me pull it, Laura.
Can I say something real quick? Anyone that doubts anything I'm saying, there's a website. If someone can drop it, if a mod could drop
I'll
it,
get it.
www.exposingtheliesofbrianstjohn.com. Just go there and do your homework on this man. Because
Look,
it's all
Trisha's
there.
story about her and Nicole, I heard that I don't know how many times from Brian's mouth.
Yep.
And in those days, I avoided Trisha, okay, because I didn't want anything to do with somebody who was going to play games like that. But the minute I realized that Brian was just pure evil, and I stepped back from him, okay, and I just let the man roll, then I got to know Trisha.
Yeah. It took a lot of people. It took a lot of people. I had to scream it from the rooftops for the longest time. People were so sick of me hearing me say that, he rode his bike past my house and he did this and he did that. But, now that his colors are shining bright like a diamond, I'm glad that, everyone is seeing the true Brian. Like, this dude is not all there. And I know I'm a little crazy, don't get me wrong, right? But good Lord.
Oh God, I'm mental.
At least we can own
Listen,
it,
I'm
Trisha. Shoot.
batshit crazy, okay?
He's
But
he's definitely
anyway.
out to get you triggered, Sarah. Like 100%.
Yes.
And yesterday on the I don't know if last night he said that his wife has a mental disability and he didn't know it until after they were together.
Oh gosh.
So that might answer a lot of your questions.
No, not the mental disability. He said, let's just call a spade a spade.
Okay, you can say
He said he did not know she had cerebral palsy when they met.
No, Down syndrome. Down syndrome.
She doesn't have Down syndrome.
Yeah,
Well, that's what he said.
Down syndrome.
Well,
he said, I didn't know she had Down syndrome until after we had already hooked up.
Oh,
all I've ever heard him say was that she has the CP, and you can clearly see it in her hand.
I have the
clip. She was born that way. She had a stroke in the uterus, in the whatever. She birth canal. She said that.
Yep.
Well,
But
he said
anyway,
Down
look,
syndrome
I
last
just
night.
want
I don't
to-
know why, but he did.
No, you know what I think that was, Steph? I think it was because there was so much going on.
Maybe.
Okay. And I think he just hooked on to whatever, okay? I think he misspoke. Yeah.
You think it was
I think he misspoke.
misspeak?
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, she doesn't have Down syndrome.
Know.
I
No.
don't think she does
She
either.
doesn't.
You can tell by talking to her. And
I
looking
know
at her.
she doesn't.
But that's what
But
he
you can
said a lot
see-
last night.
You can see how much he respects his very own wife, the mother of his children, by what he did to her last night on that live in amongst that bloody mess that was going on. You can see how he respects women, even from that.
Yeah, and you can tell
Now,
by the way he treats women here online. You know, he
yep,
never goes after men.
yep,
It is always women. Maybe there's a 2% chance he'll
yep.
snap at a man, but the rest is women.
Well,
But look at
they were
everybody he's
fine on
attacked.
the when he went live. Him and Nicole were laughing and having a good time afterwards. They were joking with each other on his panel.
Because that's their normal. That's how she
Yeah.
deals with it. That's how she
Mm-hmm.
manages to stay where she is. Okay,
That's how they do the
look,
cleanup.
Yeah,
yep, it's all coping skills. It's all coping skills. When you are fighting a mind game player, you end up getting coping skills to deal with it. Okay,
right.
and this is what worries me. Look at every woman that Brian has gone for. He goes for their weakest point and he plays on that.
Yeah, because
that's
you're
exactly
exactly
what he's
right,
doing to
Sally.
Sarah.
Because you're exactly right. Because Brian is under the impression that just because I was in a horrible boating accident and have a metal femur, that I have a limp. So
And let me say,
he's
yeah,
calling me a gimp. Like, I don't walk with a limp,
Yeah.
Brian, you fucking idiot. I
No.
had an excellent
I've met-
team of fucking doctors.
No, but you see,
I've
Trisha,
met Trisha.
to
She
beat
does
his
not have a
game,
limp.
you tell him, yes, Gimpy is my second name, and I've got two Gimpies because I've got half a metal plate in the other one.
It doesn't
Okay.
bother me because it's not true. But you're right when you say
Yeah.
that he goes for what he thinks is
Yes.
going to be
Yeah.
to hurt you, because
It's
I don't
gonna
have a
hurt
limp,
you.
so I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, Brian.
Right.
I have a metal rod in my femur, yeah.
But you see, now you've reacted with that, so now he's gonna think, yeah, that's really gonna hurt her. So
Yeah,
he's
I
gonna
don't-
double down on it.
I don't care.
You
I
understand what I'm
don't
saying?
care.
Yeah.
So he's saying I have a limp, but never mind. Go
No,
ahead.
don't go there, Trisha.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna
Don't
mute
do it,
for a
sweetheart.
minute. I'm gonna take a breather.
Yeah.
God love you.
But Sarah, sweetheart, please don't ever be delusioned that you're gonna win, my darling, because you never will. You'll never hurt him to the stage where he'll back off you.
Right.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have the same emotions or feelings that we have for things like that.
It's just like the other day when you
Why do you think
when you got so upset and he fired up that live stream and the banner was triggered and you just sat over there laughing.
Yep.
Yeah, it's what he wants you to do, babe. It is.
And he won't. You
It
see,
was so hard last night because he did go after my mother. It didn't upset me like he
Yes.
thinks, but
and I'm sorry
it did
about
trigger
that.
me a little bit,
Right.
because my mom is gone and she's gone from suicide because of a drug overdose.
I'm
I mean,
so
it was
sorry
an
I said that to
accidental
you.
suicide because of drugs. And he knows that. And he knows that I've relapsed recently.
Yes.
And that's why he's going at me so hard.
Right.
Yep.
It's
disgusting.
Because he knows the weak points that you
Mhm.
have, okay? And he will go for them. Brian, if I've got something against somebody and I'm going to do a video, I don't do lives, I do videos because it's one and done and it's finished, okay? I name the person that I'm going to go for. I use the person's name. Brian doesn't, because it gives him more pleasure to throw shit out there and hope that a piece hits the wall, because he knows that you're going to react.
Yeah.
And then he can turn around and say, yes, you see, she's guilty, I told you.
Or I triggered her. I got to her. I got to her. She's mad.
So it must be true what I'm saying. I told you, I was telling you the truth. Now do you believe it? You see, this is how he plays.
Yeah, and what kind of competent man plays those type of games?
No, nobody.
Right.
No.
Nobody.
It takes a sick-minded person to go after people's deceased relatives or their
Of course it
addictions,
does.
especially when you've lost loved ones from said addiction. Dude. And you were supposed to be a counselor, a drug counselor?
Yeah. And he's got
liar.
And you're tormenting a person that could relapse again, okay?
Yeah.
And you're supposed to be a counselor.
He's
Well,
got 3
an
videos over
ex-counselor or
there with
whatever.
the thumbnails are just handfuls of Xanax.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's to
Yeah.
trigger you.
And yeah.
That's to get you to relapse. He can't do both things at once. Like, he can't sit there and throw Xanax in your face and then at the same
Well, he
time
doesn't
claim to
have the
be a drug
power to get me to
counselor.
Xanax, for one. Just like last night, he said to my husband, because my
Yep.
husband took
Yep.
my phone, and he was like, he told Brandon, he said, "Get your hoe in check, and it's your fault that she
Yep.
relapsed." And
Wow.
Brandon's like, "Wait a
Listen.
minute, you're supposed to be an ex-counselor, right? Explain to me how I'm supposed to keep someone else clean." It doesn't make sense. You cannot keep someone clean. It doesn't
No,
matter if it's
No.
your wife, brother,
no,
sister, mother. It does not work that way.
And if you
It
relapse,
comes
you don't
from
get to blame it
within.
on someone else.
Right. Right.
He doesn't
listen,
get it,
you
though.
can't even
It's
get
just to
them
make
to
you
a
mad.
counselor unless they want to go to the counselor. It's a personal choice. Okay? So,
Yes,
look,
Dreamer,
Brian,
I did do
there
that.
is no way in this God-given world that you were ever a counselor, because if you were a counselor, there is no way you'd be doing to Sarah what you're doing with your
Dreamer's,
innuendos and your little mind games. There is no way that you'd be doing that. You have no
Dreamer's
compassion
right, though.
and you have no empathy, as I've said before, and you have a permanent hard-on when you get a woman's weakness and you use it against them and they clap back. That is your Viagra. It's even more powerful than Viagra for you. So don't turn around and say you this and you that, because you're not. You're a piece of shit, not even the storage damn ones. And the more you go for Sarah, the
And
more you
Dream
show
is
up what a
correct.
piece of shit you are. Anyway, I'll get down. Thank you very much. Thanks to chat.
Sally,
Thank
I
you,
love
Sarah,
you,
darling.
and I
And I
love your
love you.
wisdom.
I love you. And
Sally,
I'll
and I'm so
support you
grateful
no
for you.
matter
I
what.
really am.
Okay? I will
Thank you.
support you no
That
matter what.
means
But I
a
just want
lot
you
to
to
me.
be fully aware
Ditto.
that you're playing with somebody you're never going to win with. And
Yeah.
that worries me. It really does. And I'll always be there for you. Always. Okay?
Thank you.
And Trisha and Steph, love you girls. And chat, thank you very much. Love you all. Have a
Bye,
great rest of your
Sally.
day.
Love you too. Have a
Ciao,
good
ciao.
day. Bye.
Thank
Have a
you.
good day,
Ciao,
Sally.
ciao.
I think it's always a pleasure when Sally comes up. I'm always grateful. I just love her. She does. She's full of a lot of wisdom. But I
She's
do want to
grown
say
on me.
this. Yes, I love the woman.
Yeah.
I did. I made a jab back at Brian. I did. You know, you
Yeah, you
I'm
guys
not
are going
trying
back
to
and forth.
justify. Yeah, I'm not trying to justify what I said. It was out of anger because of him coming at me. I guess I was trying to hurt him the same way he hurt me, and that
Yeah.
was wrong. I don't
I'm
have
glad you
any
listened to me.
excuses. Yeah, Steph, gosh, before you came up here,
Thank
I
you.
said,
Next wants a link, Sarah.
oh,
I jumped
okay.
into your DMs as soon as I saw you up there and I heard what he said about your mom.
Yeah, I jumped down.
I was like, Sarah, you gotta get off of there. And I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did. I
listened.
am. You did
Progress.
listen. It's progress. I was begging you, just please get down. Because I didn't want him, look, as long as you were up there, he was going to use you to just sling shit at the whole time. Just because you were there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Next, I
Yeah.
did drop the link. Are you able to see it? Sometimes it doesn't show up.
I've seen it.
Okay. I was hot-headed last night, and I can be very impulsive. What I said was wrong. So yeah, both of us, both Brian and I, were wrong. There's no innocent person in all this. Yeah, I'm gonna have to ask my higher power for forgiveness for that one. So
Shauna,
You're
it
right.
happened on Revs last night.
I think you'll be alright. Just,
She will.
yeah.
Yeah,
And I don't
and see,
blame you. I don't blame you at all. I get it.
It gets old, and
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
Hey, thank you. Next. Hey, darling.
Oops, sorry. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
You're welcome, Shauna.
So this isn't something that I have never spoken about, which I think I know Sarah knows, Clary, and I think that's it.
Oh, thank you.
So
Next, be careful, honey.
Yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah.
know Clary too.
Um. So listen, I'm going through a divorce, which is kind of no knowledge. I was married to a neurologist, and I got addicted to pain medication to the point of taking like, lethal amounts because I had an unlimited supply, 1,200
Right.
milligrams of oxycodone a day. Like it's unreal that that I'm still alive. So
Damn.
to hear somebody, and I'm on Suboxone, it saved my life. I mean, completely saved my life. And so to hear as much as I feel like my soon to be ex was like he should have seen it, or you know it's completely your partner, like Sarah's partner, they're not in charge of your of stopping. They can't control your what you do, as far as, I mean, they can try, but you cannot put the blame on them. So for
Absolutely.
Brian to say anything like that, like I could have said to my ex, why did you, have all these samples and I could have access to them, and it's, no, 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 no. It's all me. It's all me. And to even go at a spouse or a partner like that is, it's just wrong. It's just completely wrong. And I know, Sarah, as well that we have to take responsibility for
Absolutely.
ourselves, and we have, you have, I have, um and so I just wanted to say that because I was in a really weird position with my husband being a physician, that I had access to anything. I could go to his friend that's a colleague, and I did. But I have learned over the years that I have been sober that it is 100% on me, how I choose to live, how I choose to be sober today is my it's on me.
Right. We had to take accountability and stop
Absolutely.
blaming this one or that one, because if we don't come to terms that it was us, taking those actions, we'll never get clean.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. And because like I remember when I started to get clean, like I was angry, and I remember saying to my ex things like, "Well, why did you have this here, and why did you, and it's like, wait, wait, wait." And now today I can say no. That was me. That was all me. And I refuse to blame anybody or any situation in my
Amen.
life on it. It is something that I did, and I every day I wake up and make the choice of how I'm going to live.
Yeah, you owned
Yeah,
it and you progressed and you've grown, and your life is manageable today. Your life is good today, and that's what
sure.
matters.
Exactly, exactly. So, I hate, I hate to hear Brandon being brought up in any of this, as far as Sarah, as far as your sobriety goes, honey, because you know how it's not
Oh,
Brandon's choice to how you live, so I just
it's
wanted
been
to
a
say
crazy
that.
few months for me and Brandon. And
I know, babe.
when it comes to the YouTube stuff, he's just like, what? What? This guy's
Yeah.
coming after you and saying this, what? And I'm
I
like, yeah, I
know.
know.
I know, and bless his heart, he wants to just be there for you, and I understand that. But that's all I had to say, is that people don't need to be blaming anybody else, but well, nobody needs to be blaming the addict anyways in this situation. Okay? But especially not bringing their husband into it.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. It's not, if they were
Well, especially from someone that claims to be an ex counselor. Yeah.
Right, exactly, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you, honey. That's all I had to say, you guys. Thank you.
You're
Thank
doing
you so
great,
much for
girl.
coming up. I love you
Bye,
so much.
girl. Bye.
Thank you,
Thank you,
next.
next.
I love you both. Bye,
Love
guys.
you to death,
Bye.
girl. She's doing so good. That's so awesome to hear. She
Oh, I
went from
love
all
her.
that to where she's at now.
She's
That's
got
awesome.
so much strength. I envy her for that. I do. To be able to conquer and to evolve from that is amazing, because can you imagine how hard it would be to be married to someone where you could get endless supplies of
No,
medication
I'd
and
be dead.
then
Yep.
have the strength to, yeah, me too.
I'd be a
My husband would
goner.
have been dead a
Absolutely.
long time ago.
Yes, ma'am.
Not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that took a lot of strength for her to go through that, and she's got
You
it,
know,
so.
Yep.
I think what Brian was thinking was that, I was going to be so mad that I was going to come unhinged like I did last week. I took like 5 or 6 days off and I meditated my heart out. And uh, let's just say that I'm better because of that. I took a few days away. I needed that break, and it's helped. It's been beneficial for sure. This place can sometimes make you crazy, and it made me crazy. Some of the things he was saying to me made me want to go insane.
Yeah.
Telling me to take a handful of pills, or keep
Yep.
jabbing at me about Xanax, or calling me Sarah Slurry or whatever he was calling me. I don't know. That was getting to me, and now it's just like, whatever, Brian, do what you got to do,
Right.
say what you got to
Well,
say. I'm not going to let you affect me.
we have to consider the source, girl.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
Yeah,
come on.
absolutely.
Amen.
Absolutely.
So, all
Whew.
right, I'm gonna hop down. I'm starving. I'm gonna go eat some lunch. But I love you, Sarah,
Nice.
and
I
I'm
love you
always
so
here if you
much,
need me.
Trisha.
Hey,
Steph,
this
love you too,
Shannon.
babe. See you guys
Hey, love you.
later.
All right, hon.
All right, bye bye. Bye, chat.
Thank you, next. You're good, girl.
Oh gosh, you have a beautiful soul. Thank you, next. You are a good person.
She's a good egg.
Yes. Let me say this. Addicts that can conquer their demons are some of the most beautiful souls that I've ever
Yeah.
met. And
Yep.
Thank You Next is definitely one of them. Trisha is one of them. I don't want to out anybody else, but Trisha's talked about her struggles in the past. And Brian, let me
Mm-hmm.
reiterate, in the past, not current. That's another thing he likes to throw at me, that I'm doing this with this person and that person. No, Brian, you have no clue what you're talking about. You're just wanting that to be true so you can poke at us about it. And it's just not so. Just like your credentials, just not so.
You're
Go get your
lying.
Buckeye card. Yeah,
You're just
absolutely.
lying. Stop lying. Yeah.
Oh, I don't think
I
he'll ever
just,
stop lying. It's not in the cards for him.
yeah, probably not. It just sucks that the direction he wanted to go with you was over addiction, but he did it because he knew,
Yeah.
right, that it would strike a
And let's
chord.
reiterate that one more time. What counselor or ex-counselor would ever attack someone for their addiction, even though they don't like them or care for them, whatever? Obviously, you know
I
that
don't
they're
know.
sick and that they're struggling. If you're a counselor, you automatically know that, correct? Why would you provoke them?
That's right. I
Why
don't know,
would you
but
keep picking at them?
does he really expect people to believe that he was a counselor at some point?
Yes, he is adamant that he was, and I know for a fact he was not. I know for a
It's
fact,
really
and I'm
weird.
hoping that he tries to come up with some proof that he was, because I can debunk it quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Oh, I'm still waiting to see that bank account balance of $36,000 he's got. Still haven't seen that bank account. I did see that he bought a car, which great, good for you. Bought a car, but he said he had $36,000 in the bank.
Shauna, I love you, lady. You're so right. People forget that relapse is a part of some of our stories. It doesn't make us weak. In fact, oh gosh, you're absolutely right, Shauna.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I needed to take some time to heal, because everybody knows that I went through a relapse. And no, Brian, I have not been relapsing off and on for 3 years like you tried to say last night. This was the first time I'd ever relapsed in 6 years, man.
Yeah.
And my emotions have been all over the place. One day I was happy, the next I was crying, and it took a minute to pull my shit together. And I think the week off really helped.
Yeah.
And I hit so
I'm
many
glad.
meetings. Yeah, like we hit so many meetings, and it's helped, And I'm
Well, I'm
not
glad
gonna
you
let
took
it
the
go
time
down.
off.
Yeah, gosh, it
Right.
was great.
I'm glad
I'm
you
not
took the
even
time off.
kidding.
I just couldn't believe I saw you with him last night
No, and
fighting.
yeah, I'm sorry. I
No,
felt
don't.
in
Hey,
my
I get
heart
it.
it was something I
I
needed
get
to
it.
do, because I'm always going to
Mm-hmm.
protect my mother. I'm always going to protect the ones that I love, And I mean, if people want to judge me for the things I said back, that's fine. It was wrong. I shouldn't have said that. It was out of anger. I apologize. Brian's ex had nothing to do with this, and I should have never mentioned it.
Right.
So that
Well,
was
I mean, you were doing the
my
same
bad.
thing to him that he does to you. He was using something that he knew
Yeah.
would probably bother you, and so you did the same thing back. That's why it's That's one of the
Yeah.
reasons I don't want to get on a panel with Brian. It's not because I think we couldn't have a rational conversation, but it's because I don't want to come outside myself.
Right. Yeah, and that's very smart, and I'm glad that you're able to, do that. I'm learning. I'm trying. I swear I am. Just for today.
You got this. Just stick with us. We got you.
Yes, and
All
I'm
right.
grateful for you guys. I love you guys, and I'm really glad that you
I love
did
you
kind of
too.
like help pull me off panel. And also, I want to say I know that Rex might not be some people's cup of tea, but I'm kind of glad that he came up there and gave it to Brian. I'm not even going to lie. Brian has attacked so many women, and you know what Rex has done? He's gone up there and he's tried to protect these women by, kind of taking over and putting it back to him from a man's point of view. And that's just how I
Yeah,
feel. I don't know
we
Rex
all
very
enjoy
well, but
when Ryan or when Rex takes a shit on Brian.
yeah, I
I think
mean, yeah,
so. All right. Well, I'm glad you're all right.
I'm good, girl. I am
We got a
good.
new strategy going forward.
Yes, yes, we do.
All
We'll
right,
talk
you
about
got
it
this.
later as well, just so I can. Never mind.
This is
We're good.
Brian running. Okay. Do you see him in fear? Don't get me now! Run, Brian, run!
That is so fitting too. That's hysterical.
I'm gonna hop down, babe, okay? I love
All
you
right,
though.
I love you, girl. Thanks for coming up.
Bye. Of
Bye.
course. Bye.
Well, you guys, I've basically said everything I wanted to say, and I'm grateful for that. Thank you. Next came up, Trisha came up, Miss Sally Spencer and Steph. I'm grateful for all of you. Yeah, like I really had to completely disengage last week. I completely turned off Discord. I deactivated my Twitter, and I shut down YouTube for like almost a week. And I had to do that for myself, or it was going to drive me insane. And I'm so glad I did that, because I'm, my mind is healthier right now, because I took the steps to do that. I walked away and I did things that I was supposed to be doing, like meetings. And I'm not ashamed to say that as an addict, that just relapsed, meetings are important. And I'm glad I did that. So I don't know. I just wanted to clarify some of the things that were said last night from me. It wasn't okay. It was bad. And Brian, don't come for my mother. If you want this to continue, then keep doing the same shit you're doing. I'm not going to engage with you anymore. This is it. This one's it. Because, like I said last night, things are going to go real if you keep this shit up. And I don't want it to get to that point. That is why I took a week off, because I don't want that to happen. But I am not coming to your jank ass mediation shit. That's not going to happen either. Just leave me alone. I'll leave you alone. How about that? You was making fun of me last night saying, leave me alone. But you're kind of doing the same thing by going to this mediation center, right, dude? Food for thought, buddy. Okay, you guys, I'm going to jump off here. I've been on here long enough, and I just seen my son leave. I got to figure out where he's going, but I hope you all have a great day and a great week. Thanks for coming in and hanging out, and I'm grateful for all of you, seriously. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.